G'day, how you going? I'm Ian Apples, your acrylic guru. I'm in my back garden this morning, just enjoying my morning coffee. The cats are out fertilising everybody's garden, and I want to go into the studio and do a painting today. So let's get in there and get sorted. Okay, g'day, we're in the studio. Now I hope you got your colourful hats on today because we're going to do something beautiful and colourful. Before we get started, I have the size and the colours going on the screen there so you can write the colours down that I'm using. And also a big thank you to Ahmed for the inspiration behind this picture today. Alright, so I want to bring you over here and just show you what I have laid out on the canvas. So come on. Now I have it in portrait layout and my horizon is a bit above halfway. With my horizon, I've got the rocks coming smaller to bigger, and I'm just going to have some overhanging trees here. Now I want my sun there, the ocean, the water, the wet sand, the reflection down below, and a beautiful vibrant sky. Now first things first, I want to get the sky in. And using my putter on a brush, I've got a puddle. It's not water, that's just retarder there. And I'm just moistening up my putter on a brush. I call it a putter on a brush because it puts the paint on. And I'm just pulling some of this soft body titanium white so I can prime up my sky area. Okay, so I want to just push it on. I'm getting it all into the tooth of the canvas. Just come to my horizon area. Come to the tip of your brush and I'm just stroking it left and right to get it to a beautiful, thin, even film. Now it's not an overly big sky, so I'm just going to use a medium size flat, and I want to pick up the yellow ochre. Now the sky is going to have the yellow, but this is going to base it for that, all right? And this helps that merge into that so they're not so harsh in my mind. So I simply want to come across the horizon line and get this to the height. I'm just going to slowly pick up bits as I go because I want the yellow quite high in this sky. Then I want the reddish colours about above this, and just tapering at the very top would be the blue. Now what I'm doing, I'm massaging it into that white paint. I'm massaging it. This paintbrush is massaging it into there, and I'm getting it ready. Just let it come up. Beautiful like that. Okay, so I've got the magenta, quinacridone magenta to be exact, if you really want to know. And see where I've got this paint and it's starting to fade. I want to get this right about there. Now get this to where I want. There we go. Get it up a bit, leaving a little bit of white for the blue because the blue is going to marry with this as well. Now what I want to do is sliver this into the yellow into that, just so it's not a hard gradient line. It's got some nature-fiable aspects about it, and I want to get that now and just softly, I'm not pressing hard, just find your pressure and softly marry those two beautiful colours together and bring that down into that yellow. Okay, I've cleaned my brush. Now I'm picking up the Prussian blue. Now I want to come right on the white there, get that Prussian in there, and then just start letting it mix with that magenta, and we're going to get some kind of darker purple as those two colours meet as well. Now the same again, I'm massaging it in, and now I just want to slither it, X-stroke it, and bring it down to that magenta vibe there. And we've gradually got the blue going into there. Now you might be mistaken for thinking it's a little bit bland, but this is where the colour and the fun starts, down here. See that Indian yellow? We're going to pick that up and we're going to make it pop. So my sun, see that line there? That's where my sun's going to be. That's where I want this radiating out. So what I want to do is just simply get this on the horizon line there, and then just kind of let it fade. We've got that yellow ochre as a base coat, and when I add the white, this is just going to pop. All right, I've got a pouncer, or use your brush to dab the shape of your sun glare on there. I want to get a glare of the sun, so I've got me, I'll grab a bit more of that. I've got my titanium white in my pouncer all loaded up. And what I want to do is create a glare. So how I do that, I get my pouncer. There it is there. Now I'm going to make that an oval egg shape laying on its side. So what I do is I just simply pounce that and then softly blend with the pouncer the edges away. Now I'm going to pick up more white because it's very hungry, and I'll go again. It doesn't matter how many times you've got to do things. There we go. Now, someone commented the other day when they do their suns or something, they get these stipples. That's fine, I get them as well, but what you do, you wipe your applicating tool, whether it's a brush or a pouncer. Look at this, there's too much paint now, so what I'm going to do is wipe that, and I'm going to start sitting the edge down. Look at that. Otherwise it's too full of paint and you'll have trouble. You'll end up pushing it all over the place and you'll be wondering what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Now the inside, I can just softly sit those peaks down again because I've taken most of the paint off the pouncer, just like so. And you pat it again and your peaks are gone. I just want to get some of this up there just to hide that bit. There we go, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Okay, I've wiped most of that off my pouncer. You can even wash yours if you have to, and I'm just going to grab some of the titanium white again, just so as I can intensify the middle of my sun, because believe it or not, the sun is white, it's not yellow. And I want to sit my sun right about here. Now I've got to play with it. I've got to play with it just to get it there. There we go, we've got an intensified. Now see that sun, that has a lot of peaks like someone was mentioning in my comments. So what you can do is just simply grab something and play with it, sit them down. Look at that, that's how easy it is. When you know what to do, you can do it. I'm assuming some people, when you don't know things, you just assume, well, you only get one go at it, and if it didn't work, you didn't do it. But if it didn't work, you have another go, and another go, and another go. There we go. I've got rid of all those peaks, and I'm happy with that. That's all that matters. I'm going to grab the Prussian blue and mix it with the magenta here now, and I want to get a backlit cloud. Now we can put a bit of white with that just to turn the headlights on. There you go, you can see what you're up against. I want more red in that. And I don't know, I just want something fluffing down and pointing towards that sun. And now I want to bring the brush to its edge there and then just point it into that sun. Not too skinny, give it a bit of body. Now find another smaller brush just to softly blend that into the sky so it doesn't look so iffity-affity. So I have another one here, and when blending, doesn't matter how big your brush, how big the area, you always need something to wipe it, because if you don't, you're going to keep moving it all over the place. So what I want to do is just simply twist, turmoil, get those big dollops out of there and just kind of make it a vibe of a cloud. Now I know my brush is pretty full. Before I start blending this, I don't want to put all that volume down here, so I need to wipe that off the brush. I've got a kitchen towel here, and now I don't have much on my brush and I can smear that the way I want. Look at that. Wiping it. And now I'll just simply tickle the tops of that where it looks a bit not nice or not cloudy like. There we go. I'm coming here. I want a little bit of a point there. They just look nice when they point to the object. A little one hovering just here. I'm going to have trees there anyway, so I don't need nothing too much there. Right in front there, look at that. Beautiful. The sky's still wet, I haven't dried nothing. There's going to be trees there, so I'll just bring that behind. Now, let me look at that and analyse it. I don't like the way that and that are quite level with each other, so what I'll do, I'll just bring this one a little bit more there, just crisscrossing it, odulating it up a bit. Give that a bit of a pull, give it a bit blend, and I just want to pull this into the painting there. I did just grab some of the Prussian blue and just dabbed it on the bottom of this big one just to make it darker down there. I don't know why I just did, and I thought I better turn the camera on in case someone notices and go, oh, we didn't see what you did there. Now give this a dry just so as we can start the next procedure without disturbing all that. Now that's dry. I want to mask up so as I can start preparing the bottom water. Now I've shown in previous videos how you do not get a white ridge of paint against your horizon line when you mask up. And I've even discovered a better way. So what I'll do, that's me horizon line, right? So you put your first tape there to the height you want. Then grab another piece of masking tape and come under that, okay? Just there like that. This one can come off. That's your horizon line. Now I'm going to just mark how low I want it to go, about that low. That way I won't get lost. Keep your tape reasonably straight, put it on that dot there, and then on that dot there, and then rub that across. Now we can go willy-nilly and prime our canvas up to that piece of masking tape. Okay, I've got me putter on a brush. I'm just going to go straight to that tape now, I don't have to worry. Once we put the white on, this white, then you take that tape off. Watch the video a couple of times in case you miss something. And if you're going to paint along, then you can start, you'll know what to do to set yourself up. Now I just want to stroke that left and right, get it to the nice thin even film that I'd like it to be. There we go. Now I'll pull that bottom tape off. It is not against the horizon line tape, and I can just grab my finger and push away any heavy ridge of paint that might be there. And now when we put our watercolour on, the watercolour is going to be against that tape. When we peel it off, we won't have a white ridge line against the horizon. Okay, I've got me watercolours ready. I've got my turquoise and I've got that magenta. What I want to do is get that magenta ready. So I'm going to grab some white and mix up a vibrant colour of this, just so as I get this beautiful colour here. There we go. Now I've got my reflective colour there. I'm going to start now. I'm going to pick up the turquoise with me putter on a brush and get the water out there started. So I want to bring this from about here to that area there. So what I'm going to do is just simply get it on, get it against me tape there, and then just start getting it there. That'll do. Pull it into there, just like that. Let's get all that. Now I'm going to grab that musky colour that I mixed and simply get this all over here. Get it there to your turquoise. Scooting along the bottom there as well. Look at that, beautiful bright colours here. Now we just want to marry those two together.
Don't forget that tape, Ian.
I'm not. I've deliberately turned the camera on just so you can see me pull it off. We'll pull that tape off, we don't need it. And lo and behold, we have a nice sharp coloured edge. We don't have a white ridge line against it because we used a white primer. Now I want to pick up the turquoise and I'm just tainting it with a bit of this Prussian blue over here. And for our waves, we need at least some darkness. So I want to bring from about here, this bit, and it's going to come there. So what it needs to do, I'll do the line roughly where I want it, about there. Okay, now I need it to be bigger and going smaller, probably to about there, that height there. And then this is sort of level. Don't have it too low. We're just creating the darker vibe of our wave. Now you might have to do a couple of coats of this depending. We could have another one just hovering over the background here, just a bit thick and then a bit thin going into nothing. And because my paints are interactive, if I put wet paint on it too long enough and keep rubbing it, I'll open it up again. Probably have subtle darkness out here, just subtle closeness out there, lineal, just vibes of that. Now I want to grab some white and make a lighter colour of me turquoise, so I'll get some white over here and just start picking up some turquoise. Now I want to place light in front and behind stuff here, so what I want to do first, I'll start way out here. See all those little bits of dark that I put there? I want to just filter in between some of that, just some light, and if you haven't got enough of the darks there, I can always go back later and put the darks back there, which I might do off camera, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Maybe just on the tops and behind all this, filtering back. And we're going to come under here now. We need a lot of light behind this wave. Right to the top of it. I've given it a dry. And I'm just, if anything, they're not exactly straight. If anything, I'm swaying them, giving them that X stroke, S stroke vibe. This is going to have, let's say about here, very slyly. And I want this coming from the wave, but on that tick of a sweep. So it's just evaporating into that dark, but coming into flat water here. I'm just coming along here now and getting some white there. That can just trace up to nothing for now, but I need that white there so I can put in my sun glare later. I've added the slightest extra white to that lighter colour, and I'm just tracing in now some more detail-y movement lines here. Getting that right against that hard bit there and just pulling it back for now. I do need just the back of this a bit bright, because when I put the sun reflection there, I want that to vibe up here. Just sitting that. Okay, now I want to set this lighter colour back just with, I'm going to have another wave just coming right off here. So I've got the turquoise, but I've added just a little bit of white to it, okay? I'm just getting the top of the wave, pushing that back. You'll see once I'm finished here. And this is coming along. This is going to be pretty white and frothy, but where are we there? And it's just going to make up for a lot of the depth within the froth. Cut that and cut it back. There we go. Now with this wave here, I just want to finish. I want to get a bit more darker there, just closing that gap, coming beyond there, because all that's going to be dark there. Now this is important. Look at your palette. I've been spraying mine as I go because I need to keep coming back to these colours. If you have a wet palette, fine. I don't, so I'm accommodating it for that. I want to get some of the yellow. So I've got another brush and I'm grabbing the yellow ochre. Now see our sun here? We want to get, this is going to be the washed up sand. We want to get this glaring just about, probably about here, okay? Don't worry too much there. So I'm going to go like this, probably about to there. And now what I want to do is just create this, just see how it's scratching out into that purpley musky colour there. Start from the centre so the edges are nice and hairy, pulling right out. Okay, I've just traced some of that up to there. This is still going to have white on it. That looks a bit funny at the moment, so Okay, I've cleaned that brush and I've added the Indian yellow, and I want the Indian yellow coming from, let's say, and it can fade into this yellow bit here. Don't just paint all that yellow oxide, yellow ochre, yellow. Now give it a dry if you need to. Want this to fade into that yellow ochre there. Look at that, beautiful. You can probably, if you're clever enough, do this with a toothbrush and flick it as well. Now that bit of white that we put back here in this wave, just glare this up with some of the yellow, just to about there. Let it fade. Some of this yellow tracing out there. Feed the darker colours through it as you need. Okay, I'm grabbing the white and Indian yellow now, just to really glare that up. Just like this. Wipe my brush, hopefully I don't get blue on it. And just scrumble those edges into that Indian yellow. Okay, now back to the white that I mixed previously with the flat brush, and I put a little bit of magenta. I want to just simply, from here, bring me, you know, the whitewash that comes onto the sand. I want to bring that. So what I'll do, I'll come along here and then start bending it around. But as I'm doing it, I need to scrumble it back in there. Bit there, scrumble it. Just so as they're not brush strokes. Yeah, she's very dry. A little bit at a time because it's so dry, but it works. Look, bit at a time, scrumble it the way you want. Bit at a time. Now this is going to come from about there, boom, back into there, quickly, quickly, quickly. I want to blur it back towards the water, not towards the sand. Get bits of blobs, blend them in. Bits of blobs, blend them in. Blend it in. Now this wave has all its white froth. We're going to start getting that. It's the same colour there with the magenta slightly mixed with it. And I need, where this is coming down here, we need darkness there. If you lose too much of the darkness, you simply just add it back. But just from that top, I just want to slowly get some scratchy water hairs like that. Because this is just the top where it's going all turmoil and agitated here. Turmoil-y vibe, look where it's rolling over. Just from the top there, a lot of, oh yeah, there we go. Getting some of this white just on the top of this wave here. And what we want to do is get those lines like this. Where this white bit's stopping here, I'm just kind of adding a bit of lifted spray of water there, just so it looks a bit more, I don't know. You don't really want any of this in there, but I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm getting carried away. Now I'm grabbing pure white just on a bit of a detailed brush here, just so as I can get all this highlighted, giving it the thickness that it needs to look the part. Just gingerly scooting across bits and bobs of this bit. I'm grabbing the turquoise again and the Prussian blue. Grab a balance stick or a mouse stick. I want to come under that white and just get a bit of a shadow there. Kissing it nice and sharp against that white. I'll stop about there. I do want to bring some of this just to break that section up. Now when I said I'll add dark under there just to show you, that's what I'm doing now. I've done it there, I want to get it a bit more this way. We're going to, if you need to do this, simply do it. And then we can sit it down with the finest bits of white again. But you just need this there so it looks like that water is sitting on top of this, and simply lacing the pure white back over it just enough to, from there and onto it, sit it down so you got that depth there. Just here and there where you feel it looks a bit factory edged, you wanted a nature edge. You don't want your edges to look like they were made in a factory. Grabbing some yellow ochre and the magenta, I want to create a bit of a mountain in the back, but it's got the glare of the sun there, hence being this colour. And out here I want to make a mountain. Just from about there, coming up like that. Just something there, getting kissing against the water, because we're going to add glare onto this. Bit of a cliff there, pushing those clouds back. On an angle coming up like that, see how I came up on an angle? That's creating the distance. There we go, and just block that in. Now I want to dry that. Grab yourself a filbert and some black paint. And over here, just want to get 1, 2, 3. Oh no, probably coming about there for now. But I want to get this pushed back with the black. Get it all up here, blocked in. Right out in front of that sun setting sky there, look at that. Get it up there. This is canopy in silhouette. And now I just simply didn't need that cloud there, but I want to get some umbrella canopies now, like some that are not connected to that. About there. I grabbed some of that magenta with the black, because just here, maybe, where are we, coming down about there. I want to get some dark shadowy glare in this wet sand. Just pulling it down. Just grabbing this musky colour, and those rocks You can probably individualise them, putting one. Oh, I should use a smaller brush. It's just like rocks there. Now I've got my script liner loaded with some black, and I want to connect these trees up to the canopies. Nice and thin if you can get them. I'm grabbing that musky colour just so as I can come here and sink that black shadow. I'll put some other colour, I'll just get this there for now. Now I'll just finish this bit here off. I've dried it. I'm just going to grab some white, and I just want to grab this brush so as I can get a very dull mist out here. Just hiding all that. There we go. Okay, let's sign this and then we'll remove the masking tape and reveal the painting. Now I want to thank everybody who's watched this far. Thank you very much. And if you're a Patreon or a YouTube channel member, I want to thank you for your support. I do encourage people to hit the join tab and support my content, free to watch. There we go, that's not too shabby. Colourful coastal sunset. Lots of different things happening there, and I know you can do it. Well, beautiful, colourful, and very interesting. I enjoyed that, and I hope you did. If you did, you make sure you tell your friends. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Also, have a look at another video of mine here. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.